Hello everyone, this is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting, and today I'm going to do a review of this new ESV Spiral-Bound Journaling Bible. I have the Poetry Edition, which I will talk more about in a couple minutes, but I wanted to show you how I started off journaling and why I think this Bible is going to be really good. So let me get into this. When I started journaling, I started with a single column Bible similar to this. This is actually a Bible that I'm going to be giving away as a guest book at a wedding. But I just wanted to show you the simple kind of single column Bible that I used to use. I decorated it. It was a perfect size for me at the time because I was worried about filling it all in. So having a single column was perfect for my very start of Bible journaling. But after that, I ended up moving to this big illustrating Bible. Now, I know that many people loved this Bible. It wasn't my favorite, personally. I have a couple of them. I ended up not filling this one completely out. Like, I could have added more pages in it, but I didn't like the paper quality in it. It was nice that it was white paper, but I just didn't like the quality that much. And I don't know, it was huge. It was definitely not able to lug around. Not that I was hoping to. Mostly my journaling Bibles stay at my house. But I don't know. It wasn't a favorite of mine. So next, once I was comfortable with filling out these, which I believe are, yes, 4-inch margins. It's nice that they're not lined, but there's just some things I didn't like about this. So once I was comfortable with this, I ended up moving to Crossway's Interleaved Bible, which is my absolute favorite. Let me grab that. So this is what I've been working on or with for a number of years now. I love this one that has a little wraparound. It does have a tie as well that wraps around the whole Bible. However, I saved that to, I am completely done with the Bible. I definitely chunk these out. They just have a normal spine, and I like a lot of chunk to my pages. So I usually get about 40 to 50 pages in each one of these. I love having the whole page. Now, not that I'm not uncomfortable filling a whole page, like I feel like it's fairly easy to, even if you have just a simple background. I really like working in this Interleaved Bible. The paper is really nice. It is like a creamy paper, so it's not bright white, but I don't mind that because I already work with a lot of vintage papers already, so that doesn't bug me too much. And I like that it's in the translation that I primarily use. So this is ESV, and that was one of the, not issues, but one of the reasons I wasn't crazy about what is it even called? By Dayspring, the Illustrating Bible, sorry, was they didn't have any versions of the Bible that I was reading. Like, I prefer ESV, NASB, or King James, and so that was a little hard for me. I mean, I still journal in Bible translations that I don't read, obviously, because like that was CSB, but I prefer to, journal in the version that I read from. Not that these are Bibles for me to read my devotions or Bible studies in. They're primarily for art and for keeping for my family history, or not family history, but for, in the future, I hope my kids keep these Bibles and look through them and have the Bible that way, as well as a bunch of other Bibles. I hope so, that they, continue in their walk with their Lord. But anyways, I like having the translation that I work in. So after I saw something brand new from Crossway, they are doing these spiral-bound ESV journaling Bibles. So I have it right here. So like I said, this is the poetry edition because they have 5 separate books. So they're not ginormous and chunky like the illustrating Bible. So this is, there's going to be the Pentateuch, history, poetry, prophets, and New Testament. I decided to pick poetry. They offered to send me one, and hopefully I will get the other sets. By the Wall for God, who I work closely with, it does have these in their shop. If they don't have them currently, they are getting more in. What's great about this is that it is very easy to read. There's nice spacing of them, of the words, and it's 9.5 type size. So if you need glasses or whatnot, this is a bigger font. So that is awesome. Like I said as well, it is ESV. Now, it does have a lightly lined column, and let's see how big it is. It's like 3.5 inches, about, 3.5 inches, so a little bit less than the illustrating Bible, but it's something I'm really excited about working with. I'm not sure exactly how I will use these books. I might do my own kind of Bible journaling pages in these. Like I said, there's so many good verses in the poetry, in all of them. But I'm hoping to get all 5 of them in the near future. So what I did for you is I actually took out one of the front pages and I did a lot of swatches because I thought that was going to be the easiest thing to show you this journaling Bible. So let me grab that paper and we'll kind of go over what bleeds, what shadows, and how you could use this Bible. Now, obviously, you could just use it as notes. You have those lined pages, and it would be really fun actually if you were just going through verse by verse in your church. You could have your sermon notes in here. That would be really fun. I thought about getting a book to do that in because I take my notes just in a journal at church, but that would be really cool to do. So if you just wanted to use it for notes, perfect. So many pens work wonderfully in here, and the paper is nice and smooth. But let's talk about some other products. So this is the page that I took out. It has a lot of swatches on it. I actually used this stamp set. If you don't have it, you can grab it from By the Wall for God. I will try to link it if it is still available, but it's called Going in Circles, and I love it because it has this solid circle stamp. And I started off actually over here. We're going to kind of go all over the page. But we have my favorite ink ever. We have VersaFine Onyx Black. Then we have StazOn, which actually my StazOn I need to replace because it's pretty light right there. Then we have Archival ink. So those are your 3 main blacks. And all of these did really well. So we have a VersaFine, and then StazOn and Archival ink in black set. So all of those did wonderfully. Then we get down to the Distress ink and Distress oxides. Let me grab those. Okay, so we have Scorched Timber, then we have Frayed Burlap, and then Black Soot, and Aged Mahogany. So these are your Distress inks. These are the combos of oxide. So these are going to be not as bleeding through, but still definitely, and especially when you add water. These are super inky, obviously, and so they do bleed through pretty heavily. So those are your inks. These are your oxides, and then when you add water, that's what they're gonna do. So they're gonna bleed pretty good when you add that water. So there's that. Then I did also sprays with the circle. So we have Walnut Stain, Distress Spray, Oxide. And then I also did 2 of them. Mariner, Uncharted Mariner in the Distress Spray Stain, and Kitsch Flamingo. So you have 1 oxide and 2 regular Distress Spray Stains, and all of them as well, just like you probably would think, did bleed through as well. I did add water to this one because it is an oxide, and as you see, it definitely bled through pretty nicely. Along with these sprays, though, I have some other sprays I did try out. So there is Distress Mica Stain in a Shiny Bauble. Then, where is it? Over here, sorry, we have Dina Wakley Gloss Spray in Carnation Pink. So this is an acrylic spray. And then also Dina Wakley in Gilt. So that's going to have some shine to it as well. And then I did get a little blue on there because I put my hand in here. But this one definitely bled through. This one as well. The Carnation Pink did actually fairly well. Has a smidge amount of bleed through, almost just shadowing, but it's kind of on the edge. So we have those. Now, if you're wondering what this circle is right here, that is Versamark ink. So that's an ink that you can use to just make the page a little bit darker, or for embossing. But I also used a Distress Dauber with some gold embossing powder, and that did really well as well. It does have a little bit of shadowing, but that is to be expected with embossing powder. Now, if you're wondering what this one is, this is a Ferris Wheel Press ink in Terracotta Canyon. Did bleed through as well. We have a texture paste down here, probably hard to see, but that did absolutely fine. I wasn't expecting anything different from a texture paste. This one is an apple barrel paint in this nice yellow color. Obviously, the acrylics do a lot better, you know, than one of these sprays, but you can hardly see that at all. There's just a smidge. I mean, there's not even really anything you can't see. So, I mean, especially if you're doing acrylic on this side and this side, you wouldn't be able to tell at all. Okay, let's see what else we can talk about. Okay, we have 2 Amsterdam inks. So these are going to be an acrylic ink, and they did bleed through. So acrylic paint versus acrylic ink is going to be different, obviously. So those are those 2. Oh, sorry, not those. Those. I put pink and blue in the same pattern. These are your 2 acrylic inks that did bleed through a little bit. And then let's talk, actually, we can come up here. We're going to do all the circles first to make sure I get them all. We have Lindy's Magical Powders. Love these. But this one for sure, I mean, it has a lot of shine to it. If you can see it, I'm not sure if you can on camera. That one definitely bled through where it got really wet. And then these 2, I was expecting to perform just as the black one did because it didn't bleed through. The acrylic inks in the distressed colors also did very well. Now, all of these did amazing. There's just a hint of a shadow on this mild liner where like you stop drawing on the darker colors. That is the only difference with these pens and markers and watercolors. So let me talk about which ones I used. So these are mild liners, did great. These Sharpie Creative Markers, I don't know if you've seen these before. These are a new product also. By the Well For God was selling them. They might still have them in the shop. But they are amazing. They're basically an acrylic paint marker. And they did very well, very opaque. Then we have some Daniel Smith watercolors. I save all of my little cards from By the Well For God so I can use them in swatches and whatnot. those did really well. I was surprised because of how dark they are. And then we have Distress watercolors. You've probably seen those right here. And then lastly, I have these Neocolor 2s. And I hardly use Neocolor 2s, but I was surprised at how smoothly they blended, and it was just really nice. The paper does fairly well with water. It's not perfect. Obviously, it's not a watercolor paper, but it does well, and I was happy with it. I believe it might be the same. I'm trying to see if it's the same paper as interleaved. Honestly, this feels like it might be, I don't know. It feels like it might be a little thicker. Let's see, you can kind of see the lines in it, but this one I feel like you can see the lines more. So I think it's a little thicker than the Interleave Bible, actually, the paper. So that is good to know. For those of you wondering, because this concerns me too, but the spiral binding, like the paper, to rip these out, it actually took quite a bit of force for me to take this out of the Bible, so I wouldn't be too concerned about these falling out at all. But yeah, I'm really impressed with this. I'm excited to try it out. I might find a paint, maybe Dina Wakley's sand paint. Actually, I did not try Dina Wakley's paint. Let's grab one and try it. Hold on one second. Her sand paint might be a good color option for here. Let's see. We'll try this Stoked, and we'll try sand. I forgot I had these. I was trying to get this all done before I did this, because I know it can take a while to do all the swatches. So we will put a little dab right there, and I will spread it out. I'm assuming these will be fine because they're just an acrylic paint. So let's see. It's not going to be a perfect circle. I just have to get over that. Okay, and then, nope, I can't get over it. I have to try a little better. Oh, man. Okay, that's going to have to do. Okay, so we have Stoked. And then let me clean this off. I wasn't prepared to do some swatching while I was doing this video, but we will do what we can. I just want to get this pink off. Probably should have done the lighter color first. Most likely. Okay. I think that's good. Let's try out the sand because I want to see if it's a good color. Like, could you cover up the lines with this sand? Let's see. It might be too dark, but let's see. Okay. And I also have those pens. So those pens did great. One is a Sharpie S Gel, and the other is a Micron PN. So you might just be able to use some white gesso. This is too dark for the paper, but it is a beautiful color. Or you can mix this with some white gesso and you might get the perfect color. Okay, so that was the Dina Wakley Stoked and then Dina Wakley acrylic paint and sand. So those are those two colors, and let's see, they're not completely dry yet, but let me dry them and I'll come back and show you. Okay, so these are all dry. This is a Dina Wakley acrylic paint and soaked and sand. Both of them did excellent. I also have that Micron pen that I was talking about and the Sharpie S Gel in 0.38. Both of those did really, really well. Maybe the Micron might have done a little bit better than the Sharpie S Gel, but I'm pleased with both. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this quick review and kind of swatch test of this new English Standard Version Spiral Journaling Bible from Crossway. I really like it. The coil is very nice and sturdy, and these pages are going to last. They're not going to tear out, and the paper quality is great. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you are looking for one of these, you can grab it at By the Well for God, or leave me a comment down below and I'll let you know if they're out of stock and you are trying to find them. So anyways, I hope you have a great day, guys. Bye.